Episode 288 of the Blathering Live begins right here, right now. It's Advice Monday. Do you need advice? You've got two unqualified people on air and in a whole chat room of heroes waiting to give you advice. So call on in tonight or put it in chat. How do you call in? Well, if you don't know, become a channel member. I think most of you watching live are already in the channel member kind of system, the ecosystem. But if you're lurking or if you're swinging through, get in there. Let's hear from you. Become a channel member. Or you can support at patreon.com/Napzok and keep this show going. A lot of regulars in chat tonight, including Jared the Tide Pilot. James Holmes checking in late in the UK. Kate is here. She says this week sucks so far. Uh-oh. It's only Monday. Laserbolt's here. Ingevia. Brandon Ingevia is here. Ingevia? We got so close, and then I forgot because I have ADHD brain. Mr. McClunky's here as well. Those are our regulars hanging out. Calls tonight. Could have some special surprise calls. Could have, we'll have our regulars. And I really want to hear from you. Mike Joyce watching here live as well. Some things up top. I talked about it this recently, but this week's episodes are sponsored by Shock City Punks, the new comic from Invader Zim character designer Aaron Alexovich. Get it wherever you get your books right now, and then soon it will be going to Aaron's shop. Aaron and his wife Amy are going to be on the show soon, playing some of our little reindeer games, and we might have the ability for you to get some special related to Shock City Punks. We talked about it. Great graphic novel for all ages, but definitely for the youngsters, 8 to 12. If you want to get your kids in a nice original IP world. This has not been optioned into a film yet. I have high hopes for Aaron that it will one day, but not yet. This episode is also sponsored in part by the motion picture in progress, The Arbiters. I'm wearing the shirt for. In the link on YouTube, you can go watch a video presentation of the project. My buddy, filmmaker Phil Svitek, is behind it, and he's sponsoring our shows for the month of May. We're just getting a little head start on the promotion, and you can make this also original, creative, very in-depth, lore-heavy story come to reality, come to fruition. You can support along the way. It is an interesting and wonderful project I've been involved with and around for the last year or so. It's getting close to being finished, and we're going to help get it over the finish line. So, like I said, this is brought to you by the motion picture in progress, The Arbiters, animated film. You're going to love it. All right. That is some of the stuff up top, some of the business up top. And, thanks to James Holmes, gifting 5 channel memberships. If you are watching and you just got one of them channel memberships, get in here. Call in. How do you do that? Well, if you're on the channel membership side, you go to the community tab on your YouTube page or on this page, and there'll be a post that has links that correspond to the days that the show goes live. Those will cycle out every so often so that, we don't want people hoarding links even after they've left the channel membership or Patreon page. But you can call in with those, or you can, if you are supporting on Patreon, there's a pinned post up there. Producer Steve is with us up top here today. Mr. Producer Steve, you calling in, Betty? Look, you called in and got a lucrative career out of it.
Lucrative indeed.
Yeah.
I caught myself. Lucrative indeed, Ken. Let me tell you that. No, yeah, call in, folks. Those channel memberships are the key to the gateway to Ken's lovely inner thoughts and voice. And Ken, your wonderful sponsorship readings at the top really got me thinking. Who are you casting in the Blathering movie?
To be me?
To be you? I mean, in the Ken Napzok extended universe. Think about your cast of shows here between the Blathering, Casterly Talk, Force Center. All the you and what you and Pat do, all the tentacles you reach into in the internets. Let's cast the cast of characters who are in your. You can't use anyone. You can't use like playing themselves. Like that's a cop out.
Yeah, you want actors playing us. Yeah.
Yeah.
At this point, I don't remember any actors' names. Now that you've asked this question, I've just completely jettisoned any actors' names from my brain. For me, I think you have to go Tom Segura, since we often get confused for each other. It wouldn't be the case if we were both holding out our checkbooks in front of each other, and seeing your bank accounts. Second mention of checkbooks by me this week on my shows. I'm obsessed with checkbooks, apparently. So Tom Segura, I think would be me. The old bank book. I have to run through that. I have to see what who would we have as you? There's no.
I can't comment on this.
You can't. It's got to be me.
I feel like that's nicknaming myself. Yeah, like I was gonna say I was gonna give you Clooney. I mean, Jared stole mine. I was gonna give you Clooney. Yeah, I was gonna give you Clooney. Yeah, let's spice it up, man. Let's have no.
So that. Okay. Well. Okay. Here. What are the options?
It goes with Up in the Air last week. We're tying things together here.
Yeah.
I don't think Clooney's bad. I think you could also do like a I guess if we want to be really Tom Holland for Steve, that's adorable. That's adorable. Can you imagine Tom Holland with long hair? That would look weird.
He hasn't had it yet. Okay. I'm doing a little poll here.
Okay. I like this.
So I need. This is who will play me. I have George Clooney, Tom Segura. I need two more options. Two more realistic options to play me in a motion picture about the Blathering.
Okay. What about the dude from Friday Night Lights? Give him a beard. What's his name? The guy who's going to be the Green Lantern. What's his name?
Is his name Kyle Chandler?
Kyle Chandler. There it is.
The coach, right? The older guy.
Yeah. No, the quarterback, Ken. Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't watch Friday Night Lights. I kind of remember him and Connie Britton. And that's all I remember. Yeah, I like Connie Britton from Brothers McMullen.
Billy Bob's a good one.
Billy Bob Thornton's good.
One.
Okay, that's it. Okay, that's it. Because I can see that. I can see that as depending on he's a chameleon as an actor too. I think Billy Bob could he wouldn't be like Segura is the he looks just like him. Billy Bob would be like, he really captured his essence.
Billy Bob is going to method act Ken. Yeah, he's going to feed squirrels. He's going to do the things that he's going to watch a ton of Star Wars, things like that.
And get really angry about it if you try to interrupt him or mess up his process. So there you go. Live poll. Type 1, 2, 3, or 4 in chat. 1, Tom Segura. 2, George Clooney. 3, Kyle Chandler. 4, Billy Bob Thornton. Who will play me in the motion picture, The Blathering movie? In theaters soon.
So yeah, as you think of good ideas for who to cast in this movie, we can that's just an easy thing to go to as they pop into our mind. We'll shout them out. I mean, obviously the dude from Force Awakens that's is he in the Death Gang who looks like Mark Ellis? That's clearly who's going to play Mark Ellis in the Blathering. Yeah, he'll play the Scottish guy. In the Ken universe.
Narcolepsy brings a great choice in David Harbour.
Ooh.
I like Harbour. I just, he kind of stepped in it a bit with this whole Lily Allen
bad juju
thing
with Harbour lately.
I'm just laying off him. I don't think he's done anything, horrendous beyond the page. I'm just going to stay away for a little bit. But that's a good choice, Narcolepsy. And not that Billy Bob's had his moments too. Let's be clear. And Segura pals around with some people I'm not happy about either.
See you with a vial of blood around your neck. I don't know. You wouldn't say no.
With Angelina? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. When they got married, I like Billy Bob Thornton, but this is how sometimes the parasocial relationships can form, even in the 90s when we didn't have the internet. What it was, I was a big Angelina Jolie fan, and it was like, this is great. I'm going to move to Hollywood. Maybe we'll run into each other at a Chili's, and maybe we'll fall in love. And then so when she was going married Billy Bob, I was like, that old decrepit guy. What's gets so weird? They're just everything's about it's weird. I was really clutching my pearls over that relationship. Now I look back, I'm like, those crazy kids. What a weird time it was. What a weird time for pop culture. The late. I'm so sorry some of you out there missed the late 90s pop culture. It was just the weirdest and the best all at the same time.
I was a kid, but it was a good time to cut your teeth against. As far as just growing up in that time, it was formative. Mm. It was that pre-internet, early dawn of the internet. As far as like influencing the social zeitgeist was a wild west for sure.
It was indeed.
Emma Stone for Addie, says Jared. Chris Rock for Cal. I don't know what you're doing there, Jared, but okay.
Yeah. don't hate it. Emma Stone for Addie's great. I was maybe yeah. That's a great.
I was gonna go Elizabeth Olsen.
Okay,
for Addie.
that's good too. Yeah, I was maybe Bryce Dallas Howard too. Capture the image. Yeah. Okay, I like this. Chris Rock for Cal. It would be an Essence thing.
Yeah. Yeah, again, more method acting. You know what I mean?
Brady says they wouldn't have anyone for him. There's no Asian actors in Hollywood. I mean, that's not true.
That's not true.
It'd be a smaller. There's a wide range of Asian actors from a lot of wide-ranging Asian countries. We usually just all lump them into one category because that's one of the problems we have out here too. But we could find some. There you go.
It's just not going to sound good, just us naming the only Asian actors we know. You know what I mean? That's just not going to look good. You know what I mean?
That's not going to go well for me.
You know what I mean, Brady?
Not going to go well.
Right.
Yeah, not going to go well for me.
Right.
Nick Nolte for Laserbolt. I'm on board for that one a little bit.
Or like Hunter Thompson. I don't know. Something
like if Billy Bob doesn't win the poll for me, I think Billy Bob could method act and study Laserbolt, some forest meats. I think. I think. Brady's clarifying, saying, "Oh no, I'm saying the producers in Hollywood wouldn't do it." Yeah, maybe that's true. But
you think they'd whitewash Brady? They'd turn him into some like nerdy white kid, and
that would be Tom Holland.
Oh no, yes.
or Barry Keoghan or some whatever. No. Well, but no, we'll make a stand. If they're going to auction my life rights, we're going to be accurate to Brady. Yeah. We're going to be accurate. Right. Speaking of auction enough stuff, I did want to touch a little bit up top of some of the news of the day. The thumbnail I put is the war on info, which is I put an InfoWars hat in there. I said info, not nympho. I realized my mush mouth may have stumbled over that word incorrectly at an inappropriate time. I'm fascinated with the InfoWars thing. For those that don't know, The Onion, the company behind The Onion, they put a bid on InfoWars because, Alex Jones was convicted of lying about Sandy Hook and saying it was a hoax and all this stuff. And he owes a lot of money to the families of the children killed in the Sandy Hook shooting. And this is a form of justice. The Onion kind of won a bid for the InfoWars and was like, hey, we're going to turn it into something and pay back the families. Then it got held up in court and contested, and well, nope. Here it is. It is finally happened. InfoWars will be run by the Onion. Tim Heidecker, if you ever watched it was a Tim and Eric awesome show. Good job, which is wonderfully bizarre. Taken over as the creative director, and he does a great Alex Jones. He's made it. He's cut his teeth out there. You ever seen Tim Heidecker do his Alex Jones?
I have. Yeah.
So, anyways, I think I have no thought other than this is justice in some small way, and let's hope we can get some of that needed money to the victims. But that wasn't what I was going to talk about, Steve. I did a play on words.
Okay.
A play on words. The war on info.
Play on words. Can't see. This is the thing. You're going to deny it until your deathbed, but you love puns. You just do. You love it. You love puns. You love witty grammar. Seth Rollins. Okay, that's better than Jared Leto, as someone else said.
I was getting narcolepsy. If you're just joining, we're casting the Blathering motion picture. The poll up right now is who will play me, but Seth Rollins for Steve. I can. There's a vibe there. I can see it. I can see that. And Addie says voting for Anna Kendrick to play herself. That's a good. I like that one. And Svetnik being played by Ethan Hawke. He'd have to, he'd be Ethan's a little older, but we can get it. We can get him to.
DH technology.
I want to talk. I wanted to talk a little bit. But what I mean by the war on info is this week the White House Correspondents' Dinner interrupted by a shooting, what is being called an attempted assassination on the president and maybe members of his cabinet team, all who were there. And look, the manifesto came out, and it seems like that was the intention. The shots were floor up, if I believe. But I got to be honest. I don't know. Do you follow what's her name, Amanda? Amanda's Mild Takes on Instagram. Have you seen her stuff at all?
I don't follow her. Yeah. I'm familiar with the character.
Yeah. I kind of liked her take on it this week of like. Here we go again. Just the cycle of news. Obviously, I feel like we have to put these caveats out because we're people of substance and decorum. Like, yeah, of course I don't condone political violence of any kind from any side, from any person. It would have been absolutely tragic if he got all the way in and did that. Blah, 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 blah. But that's part of the thing I'm tired of too, Steve. It's like, yeah, we're all functional. We get it. We don't want this. But this guy, whatever we're finding out about him, he's not fully functional. Something is wrong. Something is broken. We don't understand, right? He didn't just wake up and be like, I'm a leftist and today I'm going to go kill. And to have like, this is the cycle of the whole news and the information that gets out. First of all, a lot of the information was wrong. The people rant, and people I actually respect on Instagram who have big followings, and I watch some of their political commentaries. We're like, a shooter is dead, and he wasn't. And it's just this like, we don't have a centralized location to go to that's trusted anymore. It's all reactions. You had reporters on the scene who, let's be honest, because they knew they were safe at that point, were I think thirsty for a live shot on their phone from this location, and they were whipping out phones to file reports, and that was disturbing too. But just the deluge of information that comes out wrong, and we don't know where to turn. And then then it becomes this cycle of we got certain Republican leaders and politicians and people being like, see, look at this guy. He's a deranged California lefty. They're the ones putting all the violence out in the world. Completely overlooking all the examples of murders, Melissa Hortman in Minnesota, and let's not forget January 6th, like all that kind of stuff. And I just haven't had the energy to get up in arms about what they're saying. I'm just exhausted by this war on information that keeps coming out and this news cycle we have to deal with that's trying to cover abnormal things normally. Does that make sense?
No, it makes perfect sense, and I think I think a lot of people share your fatigue when it comes to our ability to follow what's happening in the world and have a grasp on not only what's important, but the joke that our collective generations that are around right now, not one in particular, but all of us are experiencing life, once in a generation type events and stories every month, it seems like, and no, I think what we saw over the weekend, to your point about everyone pulling their phone out and wanting to get a story on it, to the 800 different versions of the story that went out within the first few hours. Obviously, we know it's a product of this, that, and the other thing. We've talked about that a million times, right? Whether that's access or social media or whatever. I think what the problem comes down to is consumption. I think a lot of it's consumption. I think we have to, the collective we, have to take responsibility for what we consume and how we consume news, and that we have proven these methods to be profitable. Like, this is, to me, Ken, this is a little bit of like the people that complain, oh man, ESPN sucks because all they do is show Cowboys and LeBron and the Patriots. Well, guess what? They have nerds in the back of their office that say, when we show the Cowboys, the Patriots, and LeBron, number go up, board happy, we all win, blah, blah, happy, money fall from ceiling, and we have food on table. Right. Yeah. And so when we don't show Lakers, Cowboys, Patriots, we have less money, less eyeballs, so that's what we should show more. And then, but the complaints and the you and me talking about how dumb all of this stuff is very loud, right? Because there's people actually saying it out loud, not just thinking it. And we're not just voting with our wallets, so to speak, but we're putting words to our thoughts. And so that kind of anchors that idea that's a little bit more. But I think when you see how popular TMZ is, when you see how popular Fox News is, when you see how popular the plethora now of, dude, I can't believe these Newsmaxes and OANs have become as quote unquote legitimate as they have in the last 2 years, as far as like traction and them being cited as like things, when they're just completely farcical, like the National Enquirer and Bat Boy level type of journalism.
Yeah, Narcolepsy said that in chat. People swipe left and swipe right for the news, truth, and now preference to them, and they get up there and they say Bat Boy from Weekly World News is real. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Sorry, I cut your momentum out a little bit there. You were making some great points, Steve. But also, that phrase "both sides" does not apply here. I want to be clear about it there. But there's something to the story this week that went out of not even story, the pictures. And let's be clear, that's what it is too. It's not even a story. It's the pictures that went around of President Trump falling asleep at that meeting, right?
Right.
And then, everyone rushes to put something out about it, whether it's a joke, whether it's a meme thing. I get it. I'm not fault, because sometimes you just want to put something out there in the world. I do that too sometimes. But normal, reasoned people put that photo out there without even a second thought, and it was doctored. Now, there was another photo that he didn't look any more awake, but his head wasn't tilted over and everything. And just that's part of what drives me a little crazy is there's an actual problem with this man in his administration. There's an actual problem with the authoritarian government that they're have in place and continue to try to put more into place. And I just think you're losing a little bit of the momentum when you're just highlighting this stuff that is fake, that comes out as fake. Stop. Think for a second. It is the war on info. It just everyone wants to feel as though they've got the answer or a part of the story too. That woman who deleted it, but who posted the selfie at the shooting, like that. This is why we're at Idiocracy. This is truly why it is. So see, it's just wearing me down.
It's so funny to me, Ken, that this is still a problem in 2026. I mean, I guess not really, because it's always been a problem in the history of news and journalism. As somebody who literally studied it, you grow up from the very beginnings learning, it's about being right, not, getting it at the speed of light, so to speak. Right. Like it's that is kind of the mantra that they teach you. And it's really level one foundational stuff. And we still haven't gotten there as a society from a, like quality over quantity sort of thing. We hear all those mantras, but we don't really practice it so much. But there's such an appetite for the quick reaction thing, because whether you're the person that posts the Weekend at Bernie's picture or the person that has the first joke in response to the Weekend at Bernie's picture, there's social juice to that. There is that dopamine hit. There is that you know what I mean? So it's right, but it's another side of that being rewarded thing, right? It's the other side of that.
I agree.
Of that gratitude, of that instant gratification. So yeah, I think the war on information is a very easy way to put it. I'm much more concerned about this than the war on Christmas, Ken. Much more concerned.
Absolutely. Than the non-existent war on Christmas. Yeah, no, thanks for humoring me on it, just because I just had to be honest in my approach to this incident that's happened this week. Like, again, no one, I got to say this carefully, like, but this is also a problem with our news cycle this is just also normal. Excuse me. When the news broke and the first thing you kind of confirm or hear is confirmed is no one shot, maybe a Secret Service person, that we're trying to figure that out. And we even try to figure out who shot him. It might have been another Secret Service person. And I'm just saying that because that's what's out there and they're trying to actually investigate it as they should, as what's his name? Blanche said, we're trying to get it right, which I'm actually okay with him saying that. Like, that's okay for me. But my reaction to it was like, I don't care. Like, what a world. And I thought of like, what a world we live in where that is almost so normal. Like, there were shots fired and no one killed. All right, cool. Yeah, I gotta. Yeah, again. Again, right. and then so I have no desire right now to talk about the incident and take it at face value,
right? And
be like, we must talk about this assassination attempt. But what does this say about us? No, it's just like it's just the cycle. We got to talk about the bigger wheel beyond this little incident here. And then everyone's rushing to get out there and everyone's rushing to get the information there, and so much is so wrong, and everyone's got to have the right take, and everyone's got to get out there first. That's what's absolutely exhausting. And it goes into what you and I were talking about with sports talk kind of ruined everything, which, by the way, the wonderful June Lee put out a great video in partnership with Vice about how sports talk influenced everything else in the world. And that's fascinating. But anyways, that's where I'm at with it.
I think you make a good point, Ken. I think another part of it, to me, that like really is at root of it is you have not only the appetite for these weird, not weird stories, but just like the appetite for the sensation, the appetite for like the biggest thing ever, the appetite for a reason behind the breaking news banner being relevant on and being glued to something all the time. Yeah. And I think that's dangerous for. Not I'm going to say it's dangerous for society because that sounds alarmist, but I just think that's dangerous for like your mental health in a way that like social media addiction is, right? Like, I get you. And I think it desensitizes us to just how not normal all of this is. It's dude, the president was almost assassinated for the third time, and the biggest talking point about it wasn't holy shit, this is crazy, what is going on? It was, do you think it was real? Like
Right.
That's crazy dystopian type shit, right? Like the Reagan Republican, 12-year-old household I grew up in would not have been ever contemplating the idea that we would have some weird Soviet-esque, is our government pulling a fast one on us over the assassination of the president state? You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Like,
yes.
Like, okay, if this dude goes to jail, and I know what you mean, because I don't want to like dissect the thing itself, but I just want to put this out there.
I feel you. I feel you.
If this dude goes to jail and becomes like an evangelical MAGA, like born again MAGA, and is all like praising Trump from jail because he knows all I have to do is flatter this idiot and he'll pardon me out of jail, and it'll be this big story. Trump forgives and pardons the man who tries to kill him and like all this kind of stuff. Then I'll give a little bit of light to the, okay, what are we really doing here? Was all this a bit kind of thing? But I can't, it's just like that to me was the shocking part, like just how much legitimacy there was to the question of everyone looking around like, do we think this actually happened? Or like the fact that really was a thing, right?
Yeah, and I get it. I am so anti-conspiracy theory. It's a fun world to crawl into, but I always will say conspiracy theories are what you put in front of having to deal with the actual reality of not only the situation, but what's what's around it, what led to it, all that kind of stuff. But also I get it. The stuff, it was a butler. Like I've seen some of this video, and you can fall down that rabbit hole real fast. I think this one is less staged than anything else. I think it is what it is, especially this talk about security was lax. Let me tell you something.
Security. Did you please tell me? Go ahead.
But let me tell you something. I don't mean to make. You want to do something, you can do it. That's the thing about trying to secure a place. You want to do something, you can do it. Trust me. And even with Secret Service, I've worked with Secret Service. I worked with them. I stood in front of them as they guarded John Edwards when he was running for president. I worked with them. They are very competent people, at least that crew was, but they relied on me. Like they were like, they worked in concert with us. Like it wasn't like this veil of security is dripped like this invisible force field around this candidate.
Right.
And John Edwards was very popular, and Farmers Market 3rd and Fairfax. I would generally call it a very progressive liberal location. You know what I mean? It's not like a Whataburger in Fort Worth. And there was maybe six or seven Secret Service agents there, all identified with the lapels, and they come up and talk to me. Hi, I'm the director of security. Hi, I'm agent blah blah blah. And there were so many people around John Edwards. You could have Jack Ruby'd him in a second. There's no way. There's no way. And so even at a hotel that's open to the public, someone charging, rushing, getting through, personally doesn't surprise me. It's not a sign that it's staged. It's just we have to look at why.
Right. And again, exactly what you just said. I think the Caroline Levitt comments about shots fired, I think that is just bad timing, coincidence. That is the competence. That is the Veep level type of administration that we have. That's honestly,
exactly.
You know what I mean?
That's the bullshit they do.
That's what I think.
Shots are gonna be fired. You know what I mean?
Right. Like that is a Veep bit, and then for that to actually happen. But no, I laughed at that at the beginning, Ken, not at the security bit of it, but at the part of, because 10 minutes before the show started, I watched a video that was put out today and I don't know if you saw this, of two what was credited as two Fox journalists at the White House Correspondents' Dinner last night, as everyone was filing in, and this guy says, basically paraphrasing, security is such a joke, but he did use this word: security is just two chicks at the front door waving people in. And so people was like, of course the Fox guy, said, two chicks at the front door, wave, blah, blah, blah. Sure. But they were like, and he said, quote, it might as well have been a doorstop and a scarecrow as far as the security on the way in.
It's actually kind of funny. And that's the thing. I don't mean to put, I'll tell you that one tweet they found from a Pepe the Frog account that like 3 years ago tweeted out the name Cole Allen. Like, I'd like to find out what's going on with that. So I'm not saying that's the thing too. I'm not, with this administration, anything's possible. Like, you can get one or two drinks in, I'll have you you'll have me believing that the Pennsylvania one was staged. Like I get it. There's enough of it. But I just saw that was part of it too. And again, I don't want to use the phrase both sides, but what I mean from that is there's sometimes you look at someone who's like, we didn't land on the moon. You're like, dumb fuck. But then you have a lot of reasonable folks. I'm not even worried about their political affiliation, but reasonable folks. Look, Stephen Miller put his wife in front of him. Maybe, but also you don't have the whole full picture. You don't fully know. Did Robert F. Kennedy Jr. leave Cheryl Hines behind? Or did fucking Secret Service agents grab him and say, you got to go. You're more valuable than her. I mean, it's like, he wasn't he was like, leave the wife behind. Like that didn't happen. Like, and it's just, so that's part of the war information I'm clearly frustrated on of let's all pull back and get the whole picture before rushing into the sky threads and Facebook.
I understand your frustration, but Ken, if there was anyone last night that would have been saying something, RFK would have been like, listen, she's weak and slow and thin, leave her behind. Like strategically it makes more sense.
I don't even need her. I got other ones. Sorry, I got to work on my RFK.
That's actually really good. That's a great RFK.
I got to get.
I mean, honestly,
here.
Yeah.
And I got a little, and I'm making fun of a guy that I wouldn't want that.
No,
but he brings it on himself. He brings it.
He is, yeah.
And I'm not defending. Do I think Stephen Miller's an alpha male war dog who's gonna? No, I don't. But that was part of the frustrating thought too, because don't treat any of this as normal, but also don't rush to blowing it up beyond what it is.
Yes, okay. But to be Ken, yes, I agree with you. But if my wife was Stephen Miller's wife and that picture of us existed on the internet, I would be sleeping on the couch.
Oh yeah.
Months.
Months,
yeah. Rightfully so. Months.
Yeah.
But not just because of the cowardice, but just the whole like cop in a field looking type. It was just not a good look. Not a good look.
I'm not trying to defend the dude that repurposes Joseph Goebbels speeches. I'm not trying to defend him. It's just I loathe
it's
Mark
a
Wayne
infrastructure thing.
Yeah. I loathe Mark Wayne Mullen, who's now taking over for Kristi Noem, right? I loathe that dude. But there is a lot of people share because he fought in 3 MMA fights and he's a tough guy and that whole thing. And during January 6th, there's a photo of him ducking. And a lot of people put that out there. And I was going to use it in a joke for something, maybe on Anytime or something like that. And then I looked at other photos and he actually at one point was at the front door. He actually was with the armed guys. He was looking through. And I'm not defending him. I'm just saying if I had just done it based on this one thing, then I undercut the purpose of my overall fight. If someone can go, yeah, for 2 seconds he ducked down and a photo was taken, because also that's what you might do if there's a full scale insurrection riot happening. And then he gets up and ill-advised goes over. He's not trained and not armed at that point. Sticks his nose in it, but you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like that, it had shades of that for me this weekend, where a lot of people are like, look in this little picture, but it's taken from this thing.
Yes. And Ken, while I agree with you, I think that mindset is a symptom of what we're dealing with. We're the only ones holding ourselves to that standard, buddy.
Yes.
Like, you know what I mean? Like
yes.
Yes. That's, and I just mean that that's all I'm saying. I don't want to, I'm not going to,
No, you're 100% right, Steve. 100% right. And then that's why you're sometimes like, why? You know what, remember, I do want to shoot the mailbag videos. I need some good questions for mailbags.
Yeah.
But I remember I shot I shot the first mailbag holding my mic. And that used to make me so mad. And it makes me mad that this is a lapel mic and it's not a handheld mic. But then I realized it sounds better like this, and everyone's doing it. What standard am I holding myself to? At this point, I'm just hurting myself by going, no, it must be here. It sounds better here. Everyone's doing it. No one gives a fuck. So, simple example, bigger picture, but I agree with you. All right.
We go, standards, son of a bitch. If we can't let, your blue sky liberals, as to bring it full circle, Ken, are shooting themselves in the foot because they refuse to hold the mic closer to their face, even though they are literally holding the mic closer to their face in their videos. By principle, they are not. if that makes sense.
It does make sense. It was a weird example, but I just connected
No, it
it
makes
to
sense.
mine. I was connected to my mindset. It made me think of what you said.
We
All
came
right,
full circle.
that out of the way. Physicist buddy Joe says, "Wait, nuance is important." It is. Yeah. So there we go. Thoughts? You can call and talk. Absolutely. It's on the table. You want to talk news tonight? But it's Advice Monday, so we're going to need some advice. Let me check on the poll. Let me put the poll back up. Here you go. Who should play me in the Blathering motion picture? Tom Segura, George Clooney, Kyle Chandler, Billy Bob Thornton. Only 8 votes are in right now, and it's tied between Clooney and Thornton. I'll take both.
Yeah,
I don't understand the Clooney one.
Way. Okay, so it's the salt and pepper, obviously, because when people think salt and pepper, they think Clooney. Okay, I think that's just an association. Yeah, I think you don't think so.
I mean, maybe it's because
Clooney is a salt and pepper associated thing. No.
Yeah, no, he definitely
famous?
is. No, the problem for me is I think, and you're younger, but this isn't a foreign concept to you, but like he's ER Clooney to me still.
Yes. Well, yeah. I mean, to me, yeah. To me, when
I
think Clooney, I think ER and Oceans. That's what comes to mind when I think Clooney.
Oh yeah, same Oceans too, and also Facts of Life, where he was on there. Okay. Jared Leto. A lot of people want to have Jared Leto play you, and I don't know if we can allow that. I don't know if we can allow that. We can't have problematic cult leaders play.
No. And honestly, the cult leader part isn't even the problem that bothers me. The problematic part bothers me. But honestly, it's like it's problematic issues, and then right underneath is hair volume. Like I hate the straight, flat hair look like that. I don't want my hair represented like that on screen. I have some bounce. I have some volume to my hair, and I want to make sure that's represented. You can't see it as much because I have a black background to my chair and everything. It doesn't come out as much, but I don't have, I don't. Okay. I like having a little bit of.
Look, hold on. I always talk about Ochi fan says secret number 5 option, Gary Oldman. Okay.
Oh, that's
with that.
Yeah.
Imagine.
Yeah. Or if we're going, if we're doing a drama, Daniel Day-Lewis. I mean, I'm just saying it. He
Daniel Day.
Who's going to feed the squirrels better than Daniel Day-Lewis?
He would move in for 6 months, walk Franny every day, feed the squirrels.
That actually wouldn't be a bad move.
Yeah. If he pays the rent, Okay. So I often talk about my skincare routine, which is nothing. It's just an apricot scrub, probably far too many times a week. Which also works on my hands. I got the smoothest hands in the business. Giggity. Bounce. How do you get the bounce in your hair? What is producer Steve's hair routine?
Okay, so bounce is important. Volume is important because nothing looks, especially on dudes, nothing with flat, straight hair is the enemy of the man when it comes to your long hairstyle. Your Jared Leto, unless you're going for that weird like runway model, strange look, or like nightclub owner in Tron kind of look, or like vampire aristocrat looking down at people on the balcony look. That's not usually the thing you're doing with the long hair. You need a little volume, you need a little thickness, so it has like a little bit of character, right? A little bit of Okay, growing up, Anakin Skywalker in Revenge of the Sith was like hair goals 101. That was like, if I could just have that is what I wanted as a kid growing up. That's what I wanted, right?
I agree with that.
But I ended up going a little longer than that just in general. So as far as to get that, you shampoo twice a week. Only shampoo twice a week. Shampoo is if you over shampooing the hair is bad. That's one of the first things that's going to mess you up.
Learned that lesson a little bit too late in life. Once or twice, maybe 3 times a week. Maybe.
Yeah.
I got none left, but yeah.
It depends on how how much you're sweating and working out or whatever, or how much product you put. You put a product in your hair. You don't want to let that sit. You got to get that stuff out of there.
How much product do you think Laser Bolt puts in his hair every day? And is it bear grease?
I was gonna go tree sap, but I like what do you think? What is bear grease, Ken? Can you tell me what bear grease is?
I don't know. I think I might have made it up. I just love the character we're creating for our buddy Laser Bolt, and you should all check out Laser Bolt vids and watch his Friday Night Flights. We're creating just an epic character. Forrest meets guy. Anyways, this is fascinating. I agree with it. Yeah. So you want a little grease and grime in that hair to give it some fullness.
Well, the natural oils keep your hair healthy as long as you're getting the dirt out, right? Like as long as you're cleaning your hair from like when you're taking a shower and everything. You don't need to shampoo it every time, because if you shampoo too much, you're going to dry your hair out. But I condition just about every time I take a shower, or at least once a day. If I take 2 showers in a day, I won't condition. Yeah, because the condition is what makes it nice and soft and gives me that little bit of little bit of texture. Poof.
Okay, love
Poof.
that.
And then every time you're not really supposed to.
Yeah.
Okay, Addie just gave me my favorite one, Richard Madden for Steve. That's
okay. So this is Wyatt Russell, Daniel Radcliffe, and Richard Madden for Steve. I like
Madden.
the Richard. I like the Richard Madden.
Richard Madden's good. That's a good looking fellow right there.
Okay.
But yeah, no, that and the other thing is the no-nos. Sometimes it's actually okay to, like, in my opinion, Ken, I do some of the hair no-nos if you want like a certain look.
I do.
Like if you tie your hair up when it's wet, you're not really supposed to do that too much, but it gives you a little bit of a certain look when it dries. That's like a little bit of that like messy, but not too like intentionally messy kind of look, and it keeps volume for a little while. So it's like stuff like that. There's your Steve hair tip of the week.
Steve's hair tip of the week. I hit those notes. Minute Muncher says, chiming in, I've always thought producer Steve looks like Martin Starr. I had to look up his name, but yeah, okay. Yeah, Martin Starr. Now, here's the thing, Steve. You might not want that.
Yeah.
You might want someone more classically sexy like Richard Madden, but Martin Starr has grown into himself and is a distinguished gentleman, and I think that actually there's something to that too.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I think that's a good analogy for life. You know what I mean? Like you might strive to be Richard Madden, but be okay knowing you're Martin Starr.
Yeah, it's
I'm good with that.
Like if you're like, hey, Ken, we'd like to have George Clooney play you, but in reality, it'd probably be Clint Howard. And I have to live with that. No one wants that. No one, who plays Alden Diaz? I think
that's a good question.
He's singular. I think he might have to play himself.
No, we can't. No, Alden's not allowed to play himself. Someone has to play Alden. We're gonna figure this out. This out.
Okay, in chat, we're gonna take a call. We got advice calling in here. Poll is up. Who should play me? Tom Segura, George Clooney, Kyle Chandler, Billy Bob Thornton.
Chris Hayes.
Chris Hayes. Oh God, yeah.
That's so funny.
It's not.
That is really funny.
It's not ethically appropriate. If we were casting this movie in 1988, that'd be it. That's amazing. Poll is up. Vote on who should play me in a Blathering motion picture. 1 for Tom Segura, 2 George Clooney, 3 Kyle Chandler, 4 Billy Bob Thornton. Old Handsaw saying, if you can, Tom Sturridge. Do I know? I love when old Handsaw wakes up from a nap.
Oh, I love the idea of this, like following you from like we have like 2 or 3 actors play you at different stages of your life.
Oh yeah, because this is great because he's younger, but yes, he's got the nose.
You get like the Rocket Man treatment where
yes, this is what I like. This. You know what? Tom Sturridge. This is great, Old Handsaw. Tom Sturridge plays me. The movie starts with me leaving security and going to work for Screen Junkies.
Right.
It's a little prologue. It's a little prologue.
Yeah.
That's how we
right. Opening credits. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. It's like I imagine the opening credits is like we hear you doing like a stand-up set as we're seeing kind of like a montage of you kind of getting into that world from security. You're beating the shit out of some person at the top of the stairs of some like mall thing, and then you're moving into you walk into a studio for the first time and all this kind of stuff at Screen Junkies and everything. And in the meantime, you're telling like a joke, and then boom, lights flash. And then the first scene is you sitting there at the desk. Yeah.
There's a moment about 1999. I was just still in town, but only about a year and a half. And we were escorting some douchebag out of the mall, me and a couple guards. And he was mouthing off, as they do, running his mouth. And he turns to me and he points at me and goes, "My jeans are worth more than your life." And I lost it. I started screaming. I had to get pulled back away into the office. I was losing it. That's the moment, because then you do the stop and the record scratch, and you're like, you're probably wondering how I got here. That's what we got. That's what we do. Love it. James Brolin. Oh, this is Narcolepsy. It's got a great one. James Brolin as P.W. Herman, SK. Paging Mr. Herman. Mr. Herman, you have a call at the front desk. There you go. Let's take an advice call. By the way, this episode is sponsored by the Motion Picture in Progress, The Arbiters. There's a link down below here on YouTube. You're going to hear more about it in May, but I'm getting a head start on that there. I really would love if the Blathering community wants to maybe support, but also help get the word out when I start putting out there. To help my friend Phil and Sarah Stretton make a wonderful motion picture. A lot of it's already done. I'm going to be sharing some stuff with that through the month. They are the sponsor for May. Mr. McClunky says, "I'll catch you later. Need to help a friend out." What a good guy, Mr. McClunky. He could have very easily said, "Nah, the Blathering's on." That's good. That's good. Laserball says Sean Bean plays him and lives for once. That's good. That's good. That's good. On the show now, calling in with a need for advice is Jared the TIE pilot who wants to be played by Keanu Reeves in the picture, right?
Yeah, I'd take that.
I could see that. He plays bass. Dogstar, man. Dogstar.
Yeah, good band. They rock hard.
Weird LA story. In about 2010 or 11, my then roommate and I, Sam, were looking to move, and we did a little apartment tour over in Studio City, and the apartment was like the guitarist for Dogstar. All the pictures and records on the wall. It was pretty cool. He wasn't there, but it was cool. Random. Yeah. There you go.
I'll take it other than the usual one that people tell me I look like, which is, was it Seth Rogen? I get that all the time.
Yeah, well, it's because you smoke a lot. You know, if you didn't smoke as much as you do.
Well, you know what it is? When I grow my hair out, it's mad curly too. So I get the curly looking hair.
Really?
Okay. Beard.
I'd love to. I'd love more of that. Could you share some of your long locked pictures again? That'd be great.
I'll have to find some if I got any.
Jedi Gothic checking in on Twitch. We stream live on Twitch and Facebook as well. So good to see someone from Twitch over here. Twitch is alive. Twitch is alive. Vermont Mike says Alan Moore can play Laserbolt. I don't disagree with that one. Laserbolt might not want it, but I don't agree with it. All right, Jared, it's Advice Monday. We want our folks to call in with an advice question or post one in chat if you're not wanting to call in. What do you got? What's the weird advice tonight?
So this is, I was doing a little doom scrolling as one does before the show, and a dude made a TikTok. I was like, that's kind of genius. He goes, listen, when I die, I don't need to be buried or anything like that. I want to be cremated, and I need my ashes forged into a sword. I need that, but I don't know if I want to be a sword. Gentlemen, what weapon do you think the TIE pilot should be forged into? And if you have one for yourself as well.
I think you should be forged into a warhammer, right?
Oh, that's a good one.
I'll take a warhammer.
Warhammer's good.
Yeah, also maybe some like arrowheads on like a bow and arrow set. But then we'd lose you. You know, potentially one by one, you're launched into the ether. Warhammer. We've got Physics Buddy Joe says a DL-44 blaster. I think that a mighty axe is a Svetnik.
Do we have to go weapon? Can we kind of go like Mando Creed here and have you like fastened into like a little mini piece of like chainmail ring, or like, you know, maybe like a little like a little chainmail tank top? That's what I would want.
Okay,
you want to make you into a chainmail tank top.
You want to wear Jared. You want to wear Jared.
Yeah. Guns out,
Morning Star.
Suns out. Tank Jared's chainmail.
I do
tank
love
top.
a good Morning Star.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Return of the King definitely made me fall in love with Morning Stars.
Now, you're turned into a weapon. And so is Morning Star your choice? Where are you going with this? Do you have you chosen now?
I think we're leaning towards the Morning Star. That's a fine one.
Do I even know what that is? I mean, I've heard it.
It's a big like spiky ball on the end of a chain. It's what the Witch King uses with his sword at the end of Return of the King.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah, okay, beautiful, violent weapon. Now, would you want one with just the one ball or the three balls?
One big one.
Hey.
Let's you know.
Okay, I like that. Okay. So now here's where we'll go. Who gets you?
I think you drop me in a room filled with Blatherites and you fight for the honor of wielding.
Oh, so we have to fight to the death?
I mean,
like the pencil scene?
I won't be there, so the rules can be whatever. It's not like, you know, I'm gonna come back and haunt your ass, but you know, I feel someone will have to prove their warrior status to wield such a weapon.
Okay, Steve, are you fighting for Jared? Are you fighting for control of Jared? How's this playing out in your mind?
Oh, absolutely not. That did make me think though, like what are some good, like what are the best like fight to the death scenes? And that just made me, when you said that immediately made me think of The Dark Knight when he breaks the pool cue and just has him like, here you go. Yeah. So that's how I imagine that would go down. Yeah, no, I definitely wouldn't. But good luck to everyone who does. Jared, you're great, Jared. I love you, but not that much. There's few people I would fight to the death for, and I don't even think I'm one of them. So, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Well, I hope a few of them would be the wife and kids.
Yeah, of course. But yeah, the list is short. Let's just put it that way. Those are big stakes. I got bills to pay.
Old Handsaw says, not sure I want to become a souvenir. Yeah, that's possible. I get it. I have a dog that turned into a ring, but it's a good reminder. But also, yeah, I could see it. Okay, Jared, did we help you? Did we give you some of the advice that you needed to change your will?
I think we're got to call the lawyer, do some updating. But I want to know, gentlemen, what do you? Oh dear. It doesn't necessarily need to be a weapon, but what are we forging you into? Are you armor? Are you weapon? Are you some manner of knickknack? What is it? What do you want to be memorialized on the shelf?
Addie's going to be a tree. Then you put a bench and talk to her. That's nice. That's a good question here, Steve. Where do you go? Stall for me when I think.
Yeah, I got you. Answer. So I'm surprised Jared didn't go like some kind of plant that we could smoke, so that we could just grow him and smoke
then
him
he's gone, and he slowly evaporates.
No, but that's what I'm saying though, because not necessarily, because if you harvest him correctly, you could still take the seeds from the plant and plant it again anew, and we could just keep smoking. Plant descendants of Jared forever and ever. So that would be actually be kind of a cool way to do it. So I like the tree idea. I like the drug idea. I don't know, like being forged into something that isn't like quote unquote put to rest just seems of like unrestful in a way. Like that's the thing that like I want to be in one solitary spot. You know what I mean? Like you know what I mean? Like
right. And I feel.
Because if you put me onto a ring like your dog, you're gonna lose me in a drawer one day, and then you're gonna move, and then like some kid's gonna find this, or the drawer's gonna get donated to Goodwill. You know what I mean? I don't want to end up like that.
Yeah. I mean, I got to switch the finger, or it's it's a sort of an engagement ring, and now you can't wear it the same way. Yeah, I have it.
I don't know what you're doing with your hands. I don't want to be on your hand at all times, too. You know what I mean? Like, that's another thing. You know what I mean?
Like a helmet, sunglasses. I don't know. A bowl? Maybe a bowl. Could you eat some cereal out of me?
That's not where I thought you were going when you said bowl. But yeah,
that's
yeah.
I think that says more about us, Steve.
Jared can smoke whatever he wants out of it. Okay. Great question, Jared. We got another advice call coming in.
And also,
I hope
you are George Clooney, because we need a handsome man for Ken. Ken cannot be played by anything less than sexy.
Billy Bob Thornton's Kyle
He's not
Chandler's.
sexy.
Yeah, Billy Bob Thornton's scrawny.
No.
He is.
Clooney's got
Billy Bob is scrawny.
Okay.
Clooney's got it all, man. Just the smoldering looks, the salt and pepper, nice good shoulders on him. His legs are good.
Late bloomer.
Just everything about Clooney was great. Always will be.
Yeah. George, again, you said late bloomer here. Was it Facts of Life? Let's see if I can get a picture of him here. He was a pretty good looking guy. You ever see him on the old Facts of Life?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he looked like every other white guy with the longish hair back then. He looked like every other like Mark Hamill kind of, dollar store take him off the rack looking kid.
A little bit.
Am I wrong? Tell me I'm wrong.
No, I just thought of one for Steve. He's much too old these days, but we got to do a little time traveling. We need Alan Alda for Steve.
Okay. I'm listening.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think our boy from MASH, Hawkeye. Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that.
See?
Look at that.
Audio listeners.
That's a hell of a chin. Yeah. Sorry, Ethan.
I got Clooney mid 80s up from Facts of Life. I love that there. Okay. Alan Alda for Steve. I don't know if I love Alan Alda. He's Will McLean's joining late and saying Martin Starr. See, Martin Starr's the winner. But sell me on Alan Alda for Steve. Why?
It's the ability to keep the conversation going. He's got a good sense of humor on him. Nice striking look. I'd love to see Alan Alda with a nice long shoulder length hair. He's never done that before. Okay. And he's got a presence on the screen. When Steve's on screen, people pay attention.
Okay.
Presence, Ken.
That's great.
Wow.
Yeah, presence.
We went beyond the
with that
looks
hair.
there, Jared. I appreciate that. We were all just being like,
Ooh.
objective, and stereotypical. So I appreciate that.
Old Handsaw might have the winner. Can I be pressed into a vinyl record?
It depends on
that's
the
gonna make me
record
sad.
now. What record?
Well,
Handsaw?
it'd be for me, it'd be, the songs of the Moon Agers, so you get to hear the words I wrote on a record that's me. That's like part me.
Yeah.
My
See,
ashes.
that's what we would do to Steve
Okay.
if we were mad at him by the end. If he did something wrong, we'd press him into music because he hates music.
Oh, I didn't press the backup record on this episode. I just noticed that. Okay. So I'm not sold on Alan Alda, though I love them. It's you pull an Alan Alda from MASH, you just time warping him back in.
Yeah. Like I said, we'd have to do a little time warp in here because he's like 90 something right now. But get that young, season 1 or 2 MASH Alan Alden. Yeah.
All right. Let's. Old Hansa says it would just be me saying stupid stuff every day. I think it'd be great. All right, Jared. Thank you for calling in. Thank you. I hope we gave you the advice you needed.
All right, and I look forward to hearing you and Alden's thoughts on the House of Dragon trailer as well. Hopefully, you guys.
Yeah, maybe this week.
Maybe.
Maybe. I don't know.
Love it. All right, you guys stay safe.
Yep. All right. We can take a quick call from Brady, and then we got a call after that, a special surprise call. So, Brady, what are you doing? You need advice on overcoming fear.
Yeah. It's just how do you? Is I guess more from the angle of like stage fright. It doesn't have to be necessarily be on the stage. Maybe you could be asking someone for something. Asking someone out. Yeah. But generally, like, how do you overcome that? That feeling, that sick feeling in your stomach, in your heart, like, oh, I don't want to do this, but I have to do this.
That's a good question. I've got something coming up Wednesday that I'm fearful of. I have to talk to my landlord, my landlady, in person, which was not planned. So I gotta confront my future, and I'm afraid of it, and I don't want to, and I have begged out of it on myself. Steve talked about holding us up to our own standards early. I have failed holding myself up to my own standards. I've been too afraid to kind of deal with making a bigger decision. So the thing is kind of like what I was talking about this week on a Monday morning show. It just kind of happens, and you just do it. But in terms of psyching yourself up, realizing who you are and what you're worth, all those kind of big things work. One day, the first time I ever walked into the Groundlings, I was walking into audition for them. I was really nervous. And it turns out I didn't need to be. Basically, the auditions at the time to get into the school were basically like, are you upright and breathing? And do we want to spend 12 classes around you? That was it. But I walked in and I just saw my reflection in the mirror, and I was like, I'm Ken fucking Napzok. Let's get in there. And so, Brady, you got to find that moment. You got to find that moment. I created a sound clip for my old pal Alicia Malone. Well, you remember her from the Schmoes, now over at Turner Classic Movies and doing wonderful. She sometimes suffered from that, like fear and everything. And I made a sound clip that she played on her phone that was just me saying, "You're Alicia fucking Malone." I think that's kind of where you got it. You gotta really find your center and who you are, Brady, and believe that whatever you're asking, wherever you are, you deserve to be there. Does that make sense? Can we help you more?
No, that definitely makes sense. And I think another thing that I've been kind of thinking about is just knowing what failing feels like and how it's not as bad as you fear it is.
Yeah, absolutely. A couple years ago on the podcast, I did kind of a silly, I'm an idiot. I like to pull poignant things out of dumb things. I remember, if y'all remember the story of I got stung by a bee like a couple years ago. And I had spent my whole life running from bees because I had been told they sting and it's not good. And, if you're Macaulay Culkin in a movie, you might die or whatever, whoever died. Did he die in that movie or the other one die? You know what I'm talking about, Steve, right?
Yeah, that sounds right.
My Girl, is that what is it?
Yeah. Keep
okay.
It
So, and then I got stung. And I felt sorry for the bee. It was totally my fault. I had a hoodie on, and I walked past a tree, and I scooped the poor thing up, and it freaked out, and it stung me, and I don't know if bees survive that. But I wasn't allergic, so caveat, I wasn't allergic. But I remember thinking, I'm not afraid of bees, and I'm not afraid of bees anymore. I have a lot in my backyard. I respect them. I like them, and we need bees. And the fear went away because it happened. And maybe that's where we need to go with you, Brady. It's gonna happen.
Yeah. I kind of go where like I did rock climbing for the first time recently, and I had to learn to fall. Like just learn to fall, get over my fear of falling. And when I fell, I did sort of twist my ankle, but it wasn't as bad. And it wasn't a bad twist because there's padding and just
there you go. Steve, any advice for overcoming fear for Brady before we let him go? And maybe we'll get a follow-up if he conquered this.
Yeah, sure. My advice would be continue to fear bees because that shit hurts. I got stung on my tummy like a month or two ago, and it hurt like hell. So I don't know what the hell Ken's talking about. That shit hurts. Right above my belly button, right on my tummy. It hurt really bad. Like really bad. It stung. It hurt really bad. So don't, folks. Bees are good. They're good. Don't kill bees. We need them for all that kind of stuff. But like keep that fair. Did hurt. It was right above my belly button.
Did you scream, "Ow, my tummy"?
No, I went, fuck, and I was holding my baby because we were at a thing, and I was worried that
Oh, did you put your tummy in front of the baby like a hero?
No, I was holding my baby, and like the bee got underneath my shirt, and so that's what happened. And he got underneath my shirt. He stung me. I stood up immediately and I smacked my belly because I thought I had a bug or something. And so I was like, my instinct was like kill the thing on my belly that's not my baby. And so then so I smacked my belly, and then a dead bee fell to the ground, and then my belly got all swollen.
So you're allergic to bees? You're
no,
allergic
I'm not allergic.
To bees.
It just no, I don't
swollen?
think so.
Man,
you're not supposed. Well, it was like red and itchy and hurt, dude. It fucking hurt.
This is another conversation. First of all, this is why people make fun of me, but this is why I always kind of have an undershirt on tucked into my jeans, so bees won't climb up there and sting me on my tummy.
Well, that's you live and you learn.
There you go.
You live and you learn.
All right. Yeah, so you gotta have a little protection underneath from bees. A bee belly says narcolepsy. Brady, did we help you?
Oh yeah, this helps a lot.
When's your big challenge?
A big challenge. There's many of them.
You don't have to tell us what it is, but what is there a specific thing you're calling in for, and when can we send you good vibes on that day?
It's not really like a specific thing. That's all.
Okay, just living life fearfully. Okay.
I'm just I'm just gonna look in the mirror, give myself a Superman pose. Shout out to Addy suggesting that. Yeah. Just say I'm fucking him, and if I fail, it's not as bad. Yeah.
Okay. I love it.
Yeah.
All right.
For you, you confront Vader. I mean, your landlord, and we're gonna get this.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. My future will be decided on Wednesday, I think. Brady, thanks for calling in, buddy.
And thank you.
All right. We got another call lined up here. This is Blathering Live, presented by the Motion Picture in Progress, The Arbiters. There's my t-shirt on if you're watching on YouTube. Link down below. Find out more about the project and see if you something you'd like to support as I help the team behind the film get it out all through the month of May as they sponsor this show. All right. This is a fun call for me. I got to see if do you want to be on camera? Give me a thumbs up if you want. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna switch this. Colin, returning to the show, I got a message that said, "Give me the goddamn link to call in." It's the Taffeta Darling. How are you doing, darling? What brings you to the show tonight? Do you need advice? Do you need to yell at me? What do you need to do?
Sure. I could use advice. Actually, I was sitting in the other chat room probably for about 20 minutes before I realized it was the wrong link.
You were in like the Thursday chat. This show's really boring tonight. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I was like, I feel like there should be something happening here, but it was not. So
where's that guy? That guy isn't on the screen screaming about bees and tummies.
for the link. I'm assuming you guys can hear me fine. So
you're great. No, sounds wonderful. Sounds wonderful. Let me ask you this question before we start. Have you ever been stung on the tummy by a bee?
No, I haven't, but I have been stung on the ankle. So I understand the fear of being stung by a bee because it's not fun. Yeah, that pretty much, made me, I cried like a little bitch. And, I think it just was more of the shock of it was my first time being stung and being like, oh my God, what the fuck just happened? And then the bee died and I was like,
What age were you?
I don't know, probably 8 or 9, I think.
See, I wish that had happened to me younger because I'm one of those people that when a bee would come around, I'd be like, yeah, bee, and I'd like flail and run away. well into my 40s, and so when I finally got stung, I was like, "Oh, that was it. Why was I? Why? I could have overcome fear earlier in my life if I was stung. Maybe that's just for me.
I think so.
Sorry,
I think
sorry,
maybe
Steve.
everyone should just get stung by like 8 years old, and then it's out of the way.
Yes,
And
there
then
you
you
go.
find out if you're going to be, like the kid from My Girl, or if you're just going to like,
Right.
be fine and move on. He did die, by the way.
He did die.
Yeah, because they have that whole
Yeah.
thing, and like she puts his glasses on him. She like gets on top of the whole like corpse and
Yeah.
stuff, and she's like, "He needs his glasses."
Yes.
Yeah.
Formative movie, not
I
for you,
get it.
Steve, huh?
Yeah. No, I remember the reference. It's look, man.
Okay.
You like it's like me and 80s baseball cards. Like, cut me some slack.
Okay, fair enough. It's Advice Monday. Do you need advice, Taff? Or you, what brings you here tonight? This is a wonderful surprise for me.
Well, because like you do these things on Mondays and Thursdays, and I figured, hey, you know what? I'm going to call in.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I could use advice. I don't really know if it's like advice or if it's just a topic.
Mhm.
But like a lot of me wanted to like call out somebody who was really shitty to me in like the industry.
Mhm.
And I didn't. And I find like the less I do that,
Mhm.
the better I feel. But like there's still a little part of me that wants to be like, man, fuck that guy. And everybody should know, fuck that guy. But at the same
Yeah.
time, I wind up getting gigs, and I'm like, maybe I shouldn't say anything because now I'm getting work, and I don't want to be like, sour grapes. But at the end of the day, like, there's just some, terrible people that like I would really like people not to get caught up in.
Yeah, this is a great question, and now I know a little bit too much to fully give an answer because also I think it's a weird, like, I'd love for you to be able to like call them out. But I do think it would accidentally not backfire, but it'd be a thing. It would become a thing where you're also fighting it in other ways, if that makes sense. And success is the best revenge too. But Steve, you are less familiar with this. Just in general, what would you do with this kind of scenario? You have someone who maybe you've worked with or been around, and they do you wrong, and they deserve to be called out. That's the thing. They deserved. It's bad. What would you do?
Yeah, I think understanding conflict, not really conflict of interest, but understanding where your own bread is buttered and how you're going to make your own life harder or easier is important to understand. So I think my advice in this, I love how you gave, that was like the most gentle way kind of saying, Steve, you're an uneducated moron on this topic. What is your thought? So, and here's my thought.
Tummy. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, dude, is there something? It hurt really bad. You guys are like downplaying getting stung by a bee. It's not good. This is like one of those human instinct things. We shouldn't get stung by a bee. Anyway,
That's on your side. Okay.
Thank you. No, I think for me, it's calling out the behavior itself. You can name you can call the behavior out. You can name the behavior, set examples of like what should be happening, without naming names if you decide that it's in your best interest not to name names, because that's unfortunately the world that we live in from that standpoint. And maybe it's just a time and place kind of a thing. But if it's the behavior needs to be known about in the immediate future, then maybe that's something you can talk about, because you can be more broad in that way and generalize about things a bit, and play a little CYA, but still get out what you feel like you need to get out. That sounds like a little bit of a cop out, but again, I'm an uneducated moron in this regard. I don't have any bias here.
I didn't suggest you're an uneducated moron. Maybe. Addie says, I always work twice as hard to prove them wrong, not saying it's healthy.
Same.
Yeah, but you do that too, right? So, but it's
work and shame and shun, not shame, maybe a little bit of shame. Work and shun.
Work and shun. But there's something. Yes, I could see why it would be considered somewhat unhealthy, but I also think there's something to that, Addie. Like, all right, I will show you, and success is revenge, and success that's the best revenge, right? All rolled into one. Yeah. That's where I would go with that. Also, Narcolepsy says time reveals all truths. The pattern of the asset will have them reveal themselves all on their own. Yeah. So, all right, where is any of this advice hitting?
It's kind of like where I was already at the, I guess from the most part, is one of those things where I was like, I feel like somebody should say something, but also things are going really well for me, and I don't want to have like anything that's like negative or drama, because I don't in general. That's why I'm still working.
Yeah, no, you're good. And people, we do want to know what your hat says, so we'll get that hat up there. Yeah. So I one of the things that drives me crazy is people getting away with hiding who they really are. That's been a trend. But I also like to keep a nice reputation. I like to be just, hey, I'm easy to work with. But there's been times in my life, in my career in the last 10 years, where I've been like, hey, that person you all like or work with is doing X, Y, and Z. Those aren't good things, or those things you should watch out for. And I feel sometimes they look at me as I'm a bitter bad apple. And that's been a problem. And then sometimes it's been proven, and I don't want to hang it over anyone, but I'm like, yeah, I did tell you that this is what that person does.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And that's not, I'm saying that's the healthiest way to do it.
Something like that.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think another, if we're going to be giving advice, Ken, we might as well have disclaimers. This assumes nothing like nefarious or illegal is happening, of course, right? Like if when we cross that line, burn
different.
The bastards and do what you got to do. But I just didn't want to.
Yeah, if appropriate.
Just
No. It's not necessarily that. At least not this situation. But it could be in others. All right, wonderful. What else is on your mind tonight before we?
That was it.
That was it. For stuff to close it down. Okay.
Yep. Hope you guys saw my hat.
Yeah. Tell everyone where they can find the podcast you're working on, because I'm going to be a guest on it this month, and I want people to find out what wonderful stuff you're doing.
Nightmare Logic. It's you can find that just at Nightmare Logic Pod on Instagram, I believe.
Nightmare Logic Pod.
And then the website's tied to that. So
doing wonderful comic book and pop culture discussions. There you go. Look for me. Look. All right.
Have a good one.
Goodbye. There we go. Advice. Oh, we didn't. I forgot to ask her what was on her hat.
Oh, she showed it to us. She showed
it?
to
Okay.
us. Yeah, it was a potty humor joke.
It was. Yeah, it was. Probably. Yeah. Does that Jared? Does that work for you? Yeah, he gives a thumbs up. There you go. All right. We're coming to the end of it here. I know Kingsport Cal didn't get. He's working tonight. I feel really bad that we didn't bring Kingsport Cal onto the show. We got the end credit scene, so I'm publicly apologizing to Kingsport Cal for forgetting him last week on the show.
It's very noble of you, Ken. It's very big of you.
Thank you.
He's not going to give you any credit for it at all.
No, he's going to let it burn deep inside, huh?
Yeah, and he's going to turn this 15 seconds of you groveling into just more ammo for him. So I'm not really sure what you thought you were accomplishing here, but again, more of you living up to standards you only set for yourself.
That's what it is. That's what it is. That's right. It said, "I'll clog your toilet later." Yes. Yeah. Kingsport Cal remembers. Or Laserbolt. This comment just popped up. Kingsport Cal will return in Adventures Doomsday. Yes, absolutely. There you go. Okay, that's it. That's the show. We'll be back Thursday. Not a show Saturday. We'll do a Blathering backstage. Check out that. Steve and I sit down for off-the-cuff conversations about things in the world, specific questions. But then also next Monday, we might move the shows around next week. I do have an event I'm going to on Star Wars Day, May 4th. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So unfortunately, we'll not be there. But that's just looking ahead in the week. Don't forget, like, subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a comment if you're watching later. Appreciate you all. Okay, that's it. Go home. The blathering's over. We'll see you next time.